Taking them away, who knows where, to who knows what kind of parents. It's where children who are unwell, who might have shorter lives. Hey, Putin, leave our kids alone! Hey, Putin, leave our kids alone! Against territorial integrity to keep our people safe. Clearly, Ukraine is not safe, and our children are not safe. Away from tonight. So today you've come here because this awful thing has happened. But it's not just today. 2.5 years into the war, the need for us to stand firm, the need for us...
Slava Ukraini!
Heroям слава!
Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Pavlo. I am here in our Ukrainian protest at 10 Downing. It's a special protest. We are mourning the deaths of the Ukrainian civilians and children who have been murdered by the Russian terrorist regime in Okhmadet in Kyiv, the biggest children's hospital in Europe, that the Russians have struck with their high-precision missiles. So, in other words, there's no mistake that can be made with these kinds of missiles, especially considering the Russians keep bragging about their efficiency. It is a terrible crime against humanity, something that people need to be informed of, not something accidental, not something that can be written off as collateral damage, something that is a purposeful extermination of civilians. And we are here today to inform the world about what's going on and why it is pointless, it is meaningless, and it is stupid to try to negotiate, to try to speak, to try to come to agreements with the Russian terrorist regime, as they are far gone beyond that point, beyond the point of diplomacy. And that is what we stand here for. We want the United Kingdom, or in fact, actually, the United Kingdom is doing kind of what we have asked. The United Kingdom has allowed the Ukrainians to now strike positions in Russia with the Storm Shadow missiles. We thank the United Kingdom for that. We are very grateful for all the aid this great country has provided us, and we hope that it will continue doing as such with the new Keir Starmer Labour administration. Now, for the rest of the world, we want to remind you all that nowadays the world is a smaller place than it used to be before. A war in one country between two countries in Eastern Europe can very easily spill to the other side of the world. In fact, it already has in some regards, as Russia is trying to pull off their neo-colonialism in countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Sudan, and many others. Russia has used chemical weapons in Syria during the war there. Russia has attacked Georgia in the past with exactly the same kind of cheap excuses they've used in their invasion of Ukraine. And Ukraine is the country that has given up the most to achieve world peace. By that I mean that Ukraine has given up the third biggest nuclear arsenal in the world in the Budapest Memorandum in exchange of nothing more but a peace agreement from the Russian terrorist regime, a peace agreement they have violated on every single occasion, amongst many others agreements they have violated. So our message is simple. Do not trust the Russian terrorist regime. Do not cooperate with the Russian terrorist regime. We must continue putting pressure on the terrorist regime until they give in at long last. The only way to end this war is to beat the Russian terrorist regime. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say today.